This video is an overview of the basic features of Paste Wizard, which is a clipboard manager that uses a grid to display clipboards so that you can see a lot of clipboards. The grid is shown with a hotkey, which is Command/ by default. Here is the grid with some example clipboards in it. Normal usage would be that you click on a clipboard, it would paste, and the grid would disappear. Now, I do want to show you some of the special features of the grid. So for example, this clipboard here, which is a different color, is locked. Normally, when you copy a new clipboard, it will fill up the grid up to the size that you specify, a maximum of 99, and then it displaces clipboards to make room for the latest one. But you can lock a clipboard as this one is, and the locked clipboards will never disappear unless you manually delete them. Now you'll notice that these clipboards have different letters on some of them that say that they're different types of information in the clipboard that can be operated on in different ways. So for example, this one right here, which looks like a phone number, it has an N which says it's a number. So in addition to just clicking to paste it, you can right click it and a menu comes up allowing you to paste it as it is, paste it unformatted if it happened to be formatted text, type it. Now that's interesting because some websites don't allow you to paste into certain fields. So you can also type a text clipboard. You can paste this one as separate fields, so it would take 234 tab 23 tab 0500 to paste it into different fields in a website, say. Or you could paste all the digits together so the dashes wouldn't come. And that's useful if you have a website that, for example, requires phone numbers to be entered without the dashes. You can also edit a clipboard, lock it, print it, delete it. Export is only for debugging purposes to send one to me, or move the clipboard to a different set. Now I should mention that Paste Wizard supports multiple clipboard sets. Here's the set here, and you can pop this up and choose a different set to view and to operate on should you choose to. By default, you have just one set, and it would be called just plain clipboards, and there'd be no pop-up here. But it's very useful to have different sets of clipboards for different purposes. So you can see, for example, here I've gathered together some passwords, some license data, some travel information, etc. in different sets. Now, this clipboard, because it's two words, can be pasted as separate words. This clipboard is separate fields that can be pasted together or as separately. Notice that if I hover over it, it tells me what it recognized it as. It recognized it as multiple fields that can be optionally pasted individually or together. Handles and recognizes different formats of phone numbers. This is a URL. If I were to click on this, it would actually go to the URL in a browser rather than just paste it. But of course, I can right click and paste it as is or as a tiny URL, etc. This one is very interesting in that it's an address. It can be pasted into a web form as an address. This one is actually done by selecting multiple fields out of an Excel spreadsheet. And because there are multiple items that were in the spreadsheet, you can just paste it back into a spreadsheet by clicking on it, or you can optionally create one clipboard per item. So if I choose this, I can do create multiple clipboards, and it will produce 3 clipboards, one with 1, one with 2, one with 3. So there's very many different things that I can do here off the grid. Now, I should also tell you that this menu here, and move this up so it shows, the grid menu shows other things that can be done. Help can be shown below the grid. Now, all those different functions that you can do, you can also do them with key modifiers. So for example, I could click on this with a key modifier of Command Option and it would delete it. And so the help is there to remind you of that should you need it. So I'm going to turn off the help. You can also turn on to delete after pasting. So if I were to paste this, it would disappear after I pasted it. Now the other thing that I did, I didn't mention that I did it, but with the space bar I can get rid of all those what I call adornments that show around each clipboard. The numbers 1 through 8 would allow me to paste by typing the number if I chose to. And that only works for the first 9 clipboards, by the way. So I'm going to turn off delete before pasting. Now you'll notice that this changed to have a little trash can symbol up there. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to show you 2 other special modes of the grid. One is called drag mode. And so here, and I'll move this so I can see it all, I can rearrange the order of the clipboards by dragging them. Or I could drag this into another open document and it would paste it. And then another special mode is called paste multiple mode. And in paste multiple mode, if I were to click on one of these clipboards, it would paste it but leave the grid open to allow me to paste multiple clipboards without having to re-show the grid. So that is the basic features of Paste Wizard in terms of using the grid. Now, of course, all these clipboards that are available through the grid are also available through this menu in the menu bar. So you can see that the same clipboards appear here and that I can do the same kinds of functions on them, or I can just click on them to paste them. So that's it for a brief orientation of Paste Wizard.